Well, hello everybody. Here we are once again. It's turned around that year very quickly. But we're here to do what we usually do this time of year. It's Christmas and it's question time once again. And the O'Grady's have questions that will stretch your brain. Questions that the Hadmans will have to delve really deep to come up with the answers as you feel the heat. You've all gathered in Berkshire from Kent, Guildford and LA, and we hear you've arrived with fine form on display. So without further bustle, fuss or ado, we will now see what you can do. Now these questions I believe are a bit tricky. I've tried them out on Emma and Pete a little while ago and they said, no way you're going to get these. But I said, you don't know how smart they are at the other end. So here we go. We'll see if that turns out to be the case. The first question. No doubt you've heard of Heckle and Jekyll cartoon characters. I'm not too sure whether you have, but there were two birds, cartoon characters, Heckle and Jekyll. And you're sure to have heard of Jekyll and Hyde. Now there is another Jekyll who is also a prominent entity. Who is it? So I'll leave you to think about that a little while. And you could probably stop the video if you wanted to and then restart. But I'll give you the clues a little at a time. It's a person of great eminence in her chosen field, and there is an old English song that she would have loved. And further clue, country gardens and cottage gardens are at the fore.
Ah, there you are.
Now I think you should be able to get that, Jill, maybe the others as well. The answer, Gertrude Jekyll. She's a famous English horticulturalist and garden designer and was very much to the fore when cottage gardens were being put together in the early days. And I also have some quotes of hers. Gertrude Jekyll quotes go to this extent that she says, the love of gardening is a seed once sown that never dies. And she also says a garden is a grand teacher. It teaches patience and careful watchfulness, teaches industry and thrift, and above all it teaches entire trust. There are some other quotes, but I think it's time for me to move on to Judy, who has the next question.
Thank you, Roy. Lovely to be with you all again and to join in the Hadman frivolities of the day. You may have found that first question from Roy a little tricky. I might even have a little trickier one. Let's see how it goes. Can you name the tree which only grows in one small area on the planet? It grows very slowly and can live over 3,000 years. It has a special property which makes it impervious to insects and protects it from rotting in water. I'm looking for its name and where it grows. You may need a clue, or you may already have the answer. I'll leave it with you for a few minutes.
That's a difficult one, Jude. That's very hard. Oh,
I don't know.
I think so.
So, a clue perhaps. The tree grows in wet, temperate rainforests and was named by a French explorer. Any ideas? The answer I will give you shortly. And the answer is the Huon pine, which was named by Huon de Kermadec, and it only grows in the southwest rainforests of beautiful Tassie. So
Wow.
That's my first one.
Well, that was a hard one, Jude. I mean, I don't think I would have got
Oh,
I've actually been in the area you're talking
you
about.
have, yes, down that
There you
river,
are.
yes.
Well, my next question, I believe, and according to Emma, who was here a little while ago, and I asked if she would be able to know what the answer was, and she said she wouldn't have a clue, even when I gave her all the clues.
She did.
So I'm going to try it on you. Hopefully you do better than Emma and Peter.
Yes.
Can you
They
tell
should be.
us the name of the big hit song of Susan Ray? She was a country and western singer. Big hit song.
Maybe they need
Maybe
the
a long
year.
time ago, back in about the 1970s.
It's
Makes it pretty difficult, I know. But there is some relevance to this question in the circumstances of a couple of your Hadman group.
that are there now. Yes.
Now, clue, apart from the fact that she's a country and western singer, it also had a line in the song that said, "Where the big jet engines roar." That should give you a clue what this big hit song's name was. I hope it does. And another clue, it's about an airport. Okay, you haven't got the answer yet? Well, I can sing you a couple of lines from it, which is probably your punishment for not knowing it. And it goes, "It's LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar. LA International Airport." I told you it had a little bit of relevance to what was going on at the moment. And there you are. That's my second question and
Answer.
answer. And I'm afraid I've only got the two questions today. I've been a bit slack this year. So back over to you, Judy.
Well, I have a second question. I think my second question will prove to be an easier one than Roy's, especially for the historians and financial wizards amongst you. And my second question is, where is the oldest surviving bank which has been in continuous operation since the 15th century, and do you know its name? You could have extra points for that. I'll leave you to think about it for a moment or two, and I will give you a clue shortly. The clue is it is in a famous city in a popular European country. The city hosts a race twice a year, which is a contest between most of the city wards. That should give you a really good idea. Yes, you've guessed it. Siena is the city, and the name of the bank is Banca Monte dei Paschi, with apologies to any Italian speakers in the room. So there are questions for this year. I hope that they haven't given you too much trouble and that you've enjoyed listening to them.
There you go. Well, on that note, we'll say, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas.
Yes.
And that now that the new year's fast approaching, that you have a wonderful new year.
Yes.
So that's all.
Yes.
We could go out with me giving you the first two lines of that famous song, LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
now.
Have a wonderful
Bye.
new year.